Hello, hi everyone.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Okay, welcome to our session. Gumela Rizwan, nice to see you. We are about to start, but before that, we still have time to wait for the others to join in. Okay, we are about to start our session. Everyone, welcome, welcome. Welcome to our session. While waiting for the others, first of all, good evening. I believe that some of us are in a different zone. So good afternoon, maybe some of you. And I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Yuri. I'm part of ICIA and Krya Global. Here we are going to have a webinar session regarding to from ideas to impact. And we actually open our chat box so that you can introduce yourself. What is your name? What country are you representing? Because I believe we are not only coming from one country. Me, myself, I'm from Indonesia. I see Sheikh Abdullah is already here. Hi, Sheikh. I'm Tarik from Pakistan. Hi, how are you? Or you come from Pakistan too?
Okay, you can drop your name here and where you from so that we can understand better and know each other. Hi Zubaida, thank you for opening your screen.
Samran Siras from Pakistan. Hi, Pakistan.
Hello. Hello, Pakistan. Samrian Seras from Pakistan. Welcome, welcome. And Sheikh Abdullah Girani.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Okay, I think we're waiting for the others.
I would like to start our session by introducing ICIA, the program that we are joining in right now, especially for those of you who is becoming the first person or the first who is knowing about ICIA. ICIA, International Creativity and Innovation Award, is designed as a learning platform for young innovators through experiences of creativity and innovation organized in the form of competitions and collaborations that are integrated into the World Creativity and Innovation Day, initiated by the United Nations as part of the celebration of creativity and innovation in supporting the Sustainable Development Goals by the United Nations. The design activities in ICIA provide some opportunity for participants to explore and actualize themselves through a learning process that includes webinars and creative talk, the one that we are having right now, as part of mentoring to inspire participants in gaining broader insights and points of view about creativity and innovation, inventing the new solution, networking session, as well as pitching and showcase of the invention to the international experts and judges. Everyone that is experiencing ICIA activities will be valuable professions in improving their innovations to the next level when they proceed in the international arena, such as the Virtual Innovation Field Trip, the International Innovation Convention, Global Innovation, other opportunities as a follow-up program from ICIA, which will help you as a participant to actualize the learning points you have achieved. This is basically the aims of ICIA. So for those of you who just knowing ICIA, this is ICIA. Next, please. So we have three categories that participants can participate. The first one is Inventor Wannabe. Second one is in Innovation Challenge. And the last one is Innovation Award. Our session today actually involving these two challenges, Innovation Challenge and Innovation Award. For those all of you who got interested in Inventor Wannabe, tomorrow we'll have another webinar session related to this challenge, Inventor Wannabe. Next.
First, I would like to introduce you to Innovation Challenge. Our session today related to this challenge. What is Innovation Challenge? Innovation Challenge is you with your team members challenging yourself to solve real world problems related to sustainable development goals by the United Nations through brainstorming and finding your digital solution ideas using coding or non-digital solution ideas with your teammates under Krya's facilitation and global mentoring. Get a chance to showcase your invention on site and pitch your solution to international experts and judges. And next is
What you need to prepare when you are joining Innovation Challenge. This are the challenge. So basically, Innovation Challenge, you have two challenges that you can choose. First one is about designing creative and practical solutions that transform schools into waste-free, sustainable learning spaces that not only reduce waste but also inspire a greener mindset for the future. This is the first challenge. Another challenge that you can choose is to design an AI-powered solution that solves a real learning problem and makes education more meaningful, fair, and accessible for between these two. You can choose which one you prefer to solve the problem. Any any challenge between these two is very welcome. And for innovation challenge itself, something that you need to prepare first is when you are decided to choose this innovation, you can register by taking out our registration link on your screen. You can take a screenshot, then you can make it easy to register. The second one is document to be submitted. You need to prepare your video page in 3 minutes, 20 seconds, including ICIA bumper and watermark. The size of the resolution, you can check it here. And then you need to prepare your poster. And the last one is the logo and ICIA bumper that you can check through the link on your screen. This is for online. The next one is for on-site innovation challenge. As well as the online, you need to register to the link. And then some documents that you need to submit is video, poster, extend banner, and also the logo and ICIA bumper that you can see or check through the link. This is for innovation challenge. The next one is innovation awards. What is innovation awards?
Innovation Award is something related to you making a solution to the Sustainable Development Goals by the United States Nations. The innovation that you make can be in the form of science and technology research, STEAM-based innovation, entrepreneurship-based project, as well as social innovation. This is for Innovation Award, and
Things that you need to prepare. First one, if you want to register, you can check through the link.
that is shown on your screen, and then you can submit some documents, for example, like one video page,
Poster, and also logo and ICIA member. This is for online. For offline, most of the time are similar. First one, you need to register. And the second one is you need to submit some documents, including one video page, a poster size 1080 pixel to 1350 pixel in PNG, extend banner, and also via logo.
Okay. Okay, that's it for our introduction to ICIA. You can actually check all the information regarding to ICIA on our Instagram, ICIA Global, on our Facebook, ICIA Global. Next, moving on, we are going to start our session. We already have Mr. Lawrence here. Hi, Mr. Lawrence.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Yuri.
Hi. Mr. Lawrence here, he will have a conversation with us, discussion regarding to from idea to impact, mastering business development for youth innovators. Before jump into Mr. Lawrence, I would like to introduce him first. Lawrence Chau, Mr. Lawrence is a Malaysian technology entrepreneur and innovation,
Serving as founder and managing director of Einstronic Enterprise. He actively mentors youth innovators and educators in bridging creativity, technology, and business, guiding young talents to turn ideas into viable, reward solutions with confidence and clarity. I think with this Bitcoin experience, I believe we are in great hands. So, Ms. Lawrence, the stage is yours.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Yuri. Hi, everyone. Yeah, can you hear me? Before that we start, I want to make sure that everybody can hear me. Is there anyone that cannot hear me right now? Yeah, if everybody can hear me, then I will start. If somebody, all right. Yeah. So okay. Thank you, thank you. All right, okay. Welcome and nice to meet you all. Have a good evening. So my name is Lawrence. I'm coming from Malaysia. I think everybody knows where is Malaysia, right? Right now. So actually, Malaysia is quite big. Yeah, and then I'm actually from the Sabah, the state of Sabah in Malaysia. So actually, I was one of the grand award winner last year in ICIA 2025, and the startup exchange. I'm one of the winner. So it's my honor that I can share my experience and what right now the market wants, so that maybe you can have some idea about your innovation, because it is very important that sometimes what we innovate or what we create is needed by somebody in the market. So let me share about my experience here. Let me start. All right. Okay. So let me share the screen first. I want to share. Okay. All right. Everybody can see here? Hold on. Okay. So yeah, just now, Mr. Yuri already introduced a little bit about me. So yeah, my name is Lawrence. I'm a registered technology commercialization associate. So which means that I'm consider myself an expert lah in how to commercialize your product actually. So because even before we won the award, actually our product has already launched and we have customers already with our product. So that's why I was being awarded with this title, that technology commercialization. Yeah. So okay, this is a little bit about myself and our company here. Let me tell you a little bit brief about what we do actually. So we actually are a company that is developing hardware for the education and for the open source community. So which means like if you are familiar with microcontrollers like Arduino and ESP and all these electronic things, right? Yeah, we are the one that actually develop our own products to solve certain problems in either education or in development. So we started in 2018. Yeah, and then we actually start developing our own products in 2022. So from the screen, as you can see, this is all the products that we are developing right now. But the one that we actually won the award is this the our signature products. We call it the Sprout Maker Box, which is a system that using plug and play to simplify and to make it easier for students and teachers to learn about electronics, codings, and open source development. So this is the product that we won in the ICIA Startup Exchange. All right. So I think this one should be you understand a little bit more about me and my company right now. Okay. So before that, I want to make sure that everybody so far okay can hear me. Okay. No problem. If no problem, let me share about what the topic about today. Okay. Hmm. Okay, hold on. All right. Okay. Let us begin. Today, the topic is about from idea to impact, mastering business development for young innovators. All right. So before I start, let me adjust my screen first. Okay, so that I can see the okay. All right. So what is it about actually? So everybody here is young innovators right now. So supposedly you are developing something or you create something that you think that you can change the world, right? Something like you maybe let's say you are trying to solve some problems or maybe you are creating something that is you think that is very useful or it's very helpful for certain kind of users or the peoples, right? So everybody have a very good idea, want to create something to change the world or to make some impact in the market. But how do you know actually that your product is really that good or is really that impactful? We have to understand from a few perspectives. So today, let me share about the experience coming from myself. All right. So first of all, okay, let me tell you about the reality when we won the award. All right. Okay, from the slide, we can see that most speakers start by showcasing the awards. Okay, this is mine. The ICIA 2025 Grand Award in Vietnam for the Sprout Maker Box. Okay, so you see, it's look like when you have an award, it's like, okay, now I achieved something already. Okay, it means something already that maybe that's what I need. And then my products should be okay, no problem. Everybody wants it. I think because I won the award. So that automatically that maybe you will think, okay, since you won the award, then should be fine, right? Should be okay about that your product can be sold, right? But is it really like that? No, you have to actually have to realize that you still have to validate your idea. You still have to validate your product that if your product is really needed in the market. So the innovation is the idea, but the business development is the impact. Today, I will show you how to move from a workshop in an emerging market to a globally recognized product. Business development isn't about sales or pitching. It's about turning uncertainty into attraction. Okay, let me explain first why I can share this to you. Because our product right now is in Thailand, is in Vietnam, is in Brunei, is in Indonesia, and is going to Saudi Arabia already. So our product is actually we consider it like, yeah, being validated, we being accepted by the market already. So that's why I want to share with you our experience here. All right. So, okay, am I too fast actually? Am I okay? I mean, everything's okay? I cannot see the chart. Can I see the chart here? Is it because I full screen or what? Okay, okay, I saw the screen. Okay. Uh, hold on, a little bit technical issue here. Why I cannot see anything? Hello.
It's all good, Lawrence. We can hear you.
Okay, because I cannot see the chat, I was worrying that if somebody asking question, but never mind. Let me continue. Okay, maybe if you have any
Um,
question later, you can ask about the
yeah.
question. All right, all right. Okay, so let me continue. So, what is the reality of the innovation? Okay, the reality of the innovation is your idea is probably just a spark. It is like that ignites the creativity, but business development is the engine that drives sustainable impact. Awards are only a milestone, not a measure of successful or completion. But business development is totally different stories. Business development acts as an engine that drives innovation forward. It ensures that the ideas translate into practical applications, fostering growth and creating tangible impact in the market. Which means, okay, now you have an idea. You see, all these ideas are very similar. Like, it can be either from a student, it can be either from anyone. You can have an idea, you build something out, but when you want to do this as a business, you have to consider about the risk. You have to consider about a lot of things. You have to consider about whether you are a market fit or not, and you have to a lot of things you need to consider. So when you really want to sell your products, right, your creation, right, you have to consider about how this is going to be if it is the business. You have to consider a lot of things. Okay, why brilliant idea fails? The idea fails because in bridging the gap between innovation and market needs is crucial. Many innovators are passionate about their solution, but fail to recognize the underlying problems that needs addressing. This misalignment leads to brilliant ideas remaining unmarketable. Understanding the market needs and ensuring financial viability is essential. Without paying customer, this idea may be a little more than hobbies without true business potential. So yes, this is correct. You have a very good idea, but maybe your idea is only good for you only. But when you are trying to sell your ideas or trying to sell your products, nobody wants it. So for that, you don't have actually a paying customer. So when you don't have a paying customer, how is this going to be a business actually? I mean, you cannot do business with just a product that nobody wants. So that's why sometimes when you have a really brilliant idea, but it actually fails because nobody wants to buy that things. It may be certain reasons. Maybe you create something that is not really solving a problem, or you create something that is not really that important or not really that how do we say that? Needed, not really a needed product. Maybe it's just a convenient product. But when even a convenient product, sometimes it's just like people like, do I really need it? Do I really have to buy it? Uh, what if I buy it? Then it will become just another extra things in my house, and I don't really use it. There are so many products. I think some of you maybe if you have experience walking around the e-commerce website, or probably like know some of them, if you can go to like AliExpress or whatever website, right? I think Temu. I'm not sure if everybody knows about the website Temu. I think you can see a lot of products there, right? That you can buy. But do you really buy everything from the marketplace there? You don't. You don't, right? Because why? Because eventually you will see the product it's cute, it's like, wow, it's so good. It looks so good, but eventually you will never buy it. Because why? Because you never actually want to use it, or you don't have the need to use it. So sometimes you have to be very careful that you don't fall into that trap. Because right now, a lot of people can create a lot of things. You are not a very unique person, and all of us are actually not a very unique person that creates a very unique product. Sometimes we have to face the reality is that your products might not be as unique as you think. So you have to really do a reality checking about that. So if not, you create something and then you spend a lot of money for the production. Maybe you produce like let's say 100 unit or 1,000 unit. Then suddenly nobody who wants to buy it. You trying to hard sell, even you trying to cut the pricing, whatever. You try everything. You try to sell your products, but eventually nobody wants to buy it. So hopefully that won't happen to you and all of us. Okay. So be careful with that. Like I say just now, we have to be careful not to get stuck in the common traps. So what is the common traps? The common trap is one, the cool tool. You loving the products, but you are ignoring the users. Why? Because it's a very fancy things for you. You especially AI. I think everybody now, as long as you open your Facebook or you open any social media or TikTok, whatever, right? I mean the any social media that you have, you definitely see a lot of AI product, all these AI, that AI, whatever AI. But then is it every AI product that you are going to use actually? I don't think, right? I don't think you will ever use all the AI tools. Some of it, even you don't know how to use it actually. So you see, this belongs to cool tools. A lot of products outside there are trying to become, they thought that they are very unique. But actually, the reality is, it's just ads that is floating around in the social media or in the internet, but nobody actually want to buy it because nobody actually understand what is it. Some of the AI tools maybe, yeah, they're very good like in create a video or in create a picture, something like that. But there are so many other same tools there that can create the similar things. So when you spend some of the times and spend maybe some of your monies trying to create some of tools like this, right? Eventually, right, then you will realize, okay, there are a lot of similar tools out there. Some of them even do better than your tools. So what it has become? It becomes that you are actually ending up wasting your time and wasting your money to create something that actually nobody wants. So this is belong to the cool tool, loving the products but ignoring the users. Be careful not to fall into this trap. Second thing is the survey trap. Some people might say, okay, maybe I don't do like fantasy. Maybe I just try to do some survey. So it should be work. It should be okay, right? If I do survey, it's authentic. It's a real feedback. So it should work fine, right? No, even survey is not guaranteed 100% working. Because why? Because survey, you didn't really ask if the person actually wants to buy your product. You just asking, hey, I have this product. Would you like to actually know my product, or will you buy my product actually? But eventually, if you're asking about that question, usually people will just run away. They don't want to fill in your survey or whatever because you are trying to sell something, right? So you don't want that happen. So uh, to do that, you are usually just try to fill in to pass in the some of the survey form and say, hey, help me to fill in this survey. So I would like to understand what is your feedback, and maybe I can improve my product, or maybe I would know if my product can sell or not. So some people they actually fill in your survey, whatever. Okay, very nice. Looks nice. The product looks great. Great. Maybe I will buy it. Okay, all these survey form, maybe most of them are giving you a good feeling that because they are telling you that, oh, your product looks nice, your product is very good. I like it, I love it. But in reality, maybe you try to get back them. Let's say the survey form they have filled in the email. Then you try to contact them through email, or maybe if you let them fill in your phone number, maybe you try to contact them with the phone number. And then that time you try to ask, hey, since I saw that you fill in the survey form that you mentioned that you like my product and you love my product. How about like right now I give you a discount for a early bird discount, let's say. I give you a half price, 50% discount to buy my product. Would you like to buy my product? How do you think? How do you think about that? Maybe we say if you are optimistic, maybe you say, yeah, should have some people that will buy your product, right? Maybe not much, maybe like as long as got one or two people that buy your product. But if it is cheap, let's say if it's cheap, what if you are selling something like $1,000, $2,000 things? Maybe you are trying to sell a tools, maybe you're trying to sell AI tools, or maybe you're trying to sell a fintech tools, whatever. I mean, okay, this is maybe in the situation like this apply for common people. Maybe you say, oh, your story doesn't apply to me. I'm trying to sell to corporate. It's actually the same. It's actually the same. You are trying to sell to common people or you are trying to sell to the corporate. It's actually the same because eventually, if you are trying to sell to corporate, they also will compare the price. They will either ask themselves, do they need it, or they have already the existing tools that they are using. Is yet your tools really that like very useful that they can replace the system or they can to impact the ecosystem? Is it worth it to use your tools or whatever products that you have? There's a lot of this kind of question. So sometimes when you depends on the answer from the survey, it doesn't it's not really 100% accurate because most of the survey actually they have a problem. We call it the responsibility problem, which is like you're asking. Of course, they say it's good, but is it really? Nobody knows, right? So this is a survey trap. The third is the trophy hunter. Okay, right now you get a lot of awards. Maybe you get this award, you have that award, whatever award that you have, but is it really going to help you? Eventually, right? You have 10 awards or 20 awards, but when people asking you how many units that you have sold your products, the reality is actually you know that you haven't even sold one yet. Then isn't that awkward? How do you actually answer that kind of question when you actually never sell one unit of your product, but you keep getting award this, award that? So it's no point. You getting award, it's no point that you get a lot of award, but actually you have to use the award just to actually getting the acknowledgement that your product is good, but actually at the end you still have to step out, try to sell your products for the real user there. All right. So be careful with that also. And the last is try not to be the do-it-all person, which means like you already are the engineer of the product. Right now, you also have to be the CEO of the product because you know you have to run a business, and then you now that you have a product, then you have to start establishing a company. Then you have to hire people. You have to hire this, hire that. Then you have to pay rent. You have to get location. You have to do the marketing material. Blah 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 blah. Eventually, it will kill you. It will actually kill you because you cannot be everyone. You cannot do everything. You try not to be do it all person in this business. All right. So there are four things, which is these four things. Try to be careful not to become that. All right. So far is okay. Am I too fast or I have to slow down a bit? I still cannot see the window that the chat or whatever. What happened to that? Hmm. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. So okay, everybody. I mean, Mr. Yuri, is it okay?
Yes, everyone is watching your slide.
Yeah, I really cannot see all the windows there. I don't know what happened. Maybe I have when I stop sharing, I can see the response. All right. If not, I just keep going. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So just now that I mentioned about the four traps, right now I'm talking about the mindset. Okay, now that you know, okay, I won't be falling into that four traps. Okay, I know already what happened. But then how about yourself? Are you ready to actually do business already for your product already? You have to ask yourself, Are you actually ready already? All right. So first of all, if you want to start a business, then you have to uh, see all these point in the screen right now. First of all, what you develop is you have to focus on the solution. Really, really, that is why I put it in the first place. I mean, it's the first thing in this slide. You have to really, really focus on your solution. Is your product really solving a problem? Is there that your product are helping certain group of people, or actually what? Focus on the solution, really. A product that is not really solving a problem or not focusing on the solution is actually just useless product. I just call it a useless product. So be careful with that. You have to really focus on the solution itself. It's so that you have to see again and again for your product. Then you ask yourself, is my product really solving the problem? If I'm not, if my product is not really solving a problem, then maybe my product is not really that good. Have to be careful with that. Okay. So the second point is problem focus. Okay. Maybe this one will be like very similar what I'm talking about the solution, but the solution sometimes it might not be a problem. It might be like, okay, let's say now we have the e-wallet. Maybe in certain countries, the media using the money is not really a big problem. Well, some country actually still using cash. They don't have the problem like they need an e-wallet. So for that, maybe that is not a problem, but maybe that is a solution. So when you create something that actually we consider like a convenient, then that one we consider just a solution, but it's not really a problem. All right. So I hope that you can understand between the difference between the solution and the problems. Okay. Okay. So we're talking about problems. When we're talking about problems, okay, that is a really serious thing already. Why? Because we have a lot of problems. Let's say the healthcare issue. Let's say all these whatever the anything lah that is related to related to us. All right. So maybe there are some problem in childcare, or maybe some problems in education, or maybe some problems in some of the handicapped people. So that we call that the real problems. Okay. So so that your product or your innovation, is it solving this kind of problems actually? Yeah, are you actually is your product actually trying to help this kind of people, or trying to help this world, something like that? Okay, so focus on the problem. So okay, from here, why I separate solution and problems? Because uh either you are solving a problem, or either you are solving a solution. Don't try to solve both it together. It's like, okay, I'm not just solving problems. I'm actually very convenient to use also. I'm try not to do in that way, because eventually you will become like not really focused. At the end, right, you are not really trying to solve the real problem, and you are not trying to become a perfect solution. You cannot be both together. So if either is a solution or either is a problem, okay? So think about that. Which side is your product belongs to? All right. Okay. So market relevance. Okay, market relevance is very simple lah. It's just that is your product relevant to the market? That's a very easy one. I mean, definitely you won't trying to sell some of the product that's not needed by the market. Let's say when everybody is wearing shoes, already wearing all this, and then you try to sell something that is like what the slipper, whatever that is actually uh how do I say, it's not really solving any problems. And even why do I need another slippers? Like something like that. Try not to create something that is too not relevant to the market, or too not relevant to anything at all. I mean, we call it just a waste of time. Okay, this very simple things. Okay, and next is the feedback loop. The feedback loop is how do I explain this? I mean, you have to sometimes listen to what the people are actually telling you, because maybe in your life, right? Every day when you go out, when you meet with somebody, or maybe just when you eat with some of the cafes or restaurant, you will hear something that people keep telling that they have this problem, they have that problem, or they wish that somebody is trying to create something that can help them in this way, something like that. So maybe you will listen all this, and it will become eventually like a loop. You always hearing some sort of feedbacks that I wish to have this, I wish to have that. Okay, so in that case, we call it there's a market demand already. When there's a market demand already, maybe your solution or your innovation can be that. As simple as that. You don't need to, make a rocket or whatever, just try to compete with Elon Musk or whatever. You don't need to do really that big things. Sometimes just small things, it's good enough for you to make a fortune already. And all these kind of problems are sometimes are just happening around you, or actually without you did notice. I mean, that's why maybe sometimes you have to learn how to listen. Maybe there are people actually keep telling you already some things that they want. Try to think about that way, right? So last is the hobbies versus a business. Okay, this is quite dangerous because for myself, I'm not just a businessman. I'm actually quite few times being invited as the judge and as the consultant about the products they create, or they what, like today I'm as a speaker for this event. All right. So sometimes what I see is there are people actually create something out because that person treat it just as a hobby only. Okay. Okay. When do you see this kind of thing actually? Especially the people that is create for okay, usually from what I see lah, right? They create for the entertainment purpose. Let's say maybe they do some fancy tools to cut your to trim your trees, or to make your flowers look nice, whatever, or cosplay or whatever things. They try to create something very, very fancy one, but actually, not really feasible lah. In the business sense, not really a feasible, because right now, when they create something, they thought that okay, a lot of people, I mean, maybe sometimes, especially in the industry of the digitalization, let's say we call it the cosplay group or the anime group or whatever, right? They create something for certain characters in the game or in the movies. So they thought that, hey, there are a lot of fans like this character. So when I create some products for this, it should have a market. I think it should sell. No, not really at the end. Because why? Because you're already targeting something we call uncertainty. Because you yourself, if you are just guessing. You are not really sure that people will buy your products or whatever. So that when you do this kind of product coming out, and then eventually when you try to sell, at the end, nobody wants to buy it. So that's one of the thing also lah, that I always saw the disappointment on their face, because they thought they are having a really good idea. They thought that there's a really huge market there. Then they thought that they will make a good fortune for the products, but actually very disappointing. I think this kind of things maybe you frequently saw in the show, like the Shark Tank, something like that. Yeah, try to watch the show. It's always sometimes you will see this kind of people, right? They have the very cute product, but eventually it's not legit at all right? Okay, so also try be careful that to make sure that your product is not a hobby-based product, all right? Because hobby-based really, really, the potential is really a question mark. You never know how good is it or how bad is it. All right, be careful with that. All right. So since just now we mentioned about all these the solution, the problems, hobbies, whatever, right? So how do we know? How do we know actually our product is okay? Is it good or not? Is it like okay, I sure win the competition, or I sure that my products can sell? How do we know actually? Okay. I share this, okay, as you can see from the slide, it's not typical from what you see from maybe the other person, or they definitely will show you, or use this method, use that method, whatever. No, I mean, I have my own way. So I share this as my own experience, okay? So the first thing is you actually don't ask. Right? You see, hey, how come? I thought that everybody telling me that I should ask. I mean, that's why we have this validation. Validation. How do you validate something that start with don't ask? If you don't ask, how do you validate? No, actually, there are the way. There are ways that you actually don't need to ask, and you still can validate your product. How? By observe. Sometimes by observe, that's why I said just now I mentioned the word try, learn how to listen. And now that I'm telling you, try, learn how to see, how to observe. Sometimes you will see that people having problems for what they are doing. That is one of your idea already. It can be one of your idea already by just observing. You see, I mentioned here, survey lies. Survey actually not reliable today. So I'm not sure why people still doing all this survey. Maybe you know lah, still cannot. They thought that it still works, or maybe they just want some answers, you know lah, to have something coming out from that. But actually not reliable. Really, really not reliable. So behavior tells the truth. Watch where people spend time, money, and frustration. If you focus on this, I guarantee you, I promise you, watch where the people spend time and frustration. I promise you, you will see a lot of opportunities and a lot of things that can improve, or maybe even change your idea. Or maybe you already have a very good idea, or have a very good product already. But if you try to watch where people spend time, money, and frustration, then eventually your product will be even better, will be even more relevant. The keyword is relevant. All right. So observe. Okay. Just now when I say observe, then observe what? Observe pain. When people watch how people currently solve the problem. Okay, you see, we have a lot of tools. Sometimes we build something by using hammers, by using all this knife and chain, saw, something like that. But from the beginning, I want to ask you guys: is it a very good tools? With just hammers, nails, and all these saws like that? No, right? If you say that, hey, it's a very good tools, then let me ask you, then why all those auto drills or whatever, or everything that is auto one, why those tools exist? Why eventually we become power tools? Because it's not good enough, right? So that's why all these tools exist to help you. You don't need to use a lot of efforts to do something, right? You eventually you have all these laser measure tape or whatever things that is even better to help you to do your works, right? So that's why sometimes in our surrounding, there are people actually having this pain, having this suffer. They're trying to do something, but they don't have the tools, or they don't have the okay. One example that I can share with you is I forgot the name. What is the name of the robot that now they are using in the warehouse? So okay, all these robots try to help you to carry all the heavy stuff, and they will try to find all where's your parcel is. We call it like a warehouse robot, something like that. So why that kind of robot exists? Because we as a human, we can. There are a lot of things that we cannot do. If the warehouse that is very high on top of there, how do you actually climb there? And let's say when you climb up there, maybe 2 story or 3 story high. I'm not sure how high is that. And the parcel that you actually want to take is like 10 kilos. I mean, maybe 10 kilos, you say, okay, lah, never mind, lah, not really heavy. Lah. How about 50 kilos? How do you actually carry from a two-story using just a ladder? You want to carry down by your own, using hands and your bodies. You really can do that. You think you really can do that? You cannot. So that's why pain is one of the things that actually a very good idea that for us to solve the problem. Observe the pain. So there are a lot of this kind of case now. So of course, some people, okay, right now they have an exoskeleton for people to wear actually. It's very good for all people or maybe for the people who actually having the joint joint problem. Even myself, I'm considering maybe one day I will use the exoskeleton already so that I can walk properly because I'm either overweight or I'm either cannot walk properly. My legs always pain. You see, all this pain. I hope that one day it can be solved by technology or by any kind of products that can help me. Whether it is a digital product or non-digital product, mechanical or robotics, it doesn't matter as long as it solve my problem. So let's say if one day there's a shoe inside it has the mechanical already or it has some sort of support already. I'm not talking about those walking shoe or whatever those kind of shoe. I really mean those that is actually helping you to walk properly because you're having maybe a problem like gout or whatever. I'm talking about that kind of shoes. If anybody can create that kind of shoes and it's affordable, I will buy it. I tell you, I definitely will buy it because I have this kind of pain right now. So you see, that's how you observe the pain. Okay. Third is asking hard question. Sometimes, okay, maybe you say, oh no, you contradict already. Just now you say don't ask. Not right now you say ask. How is it? I you want me to ask or not? Okay, let me. What I mean just now is don't ask is because I want you to observe. But after that, when you really want to know the real situation, eventually you still have to ask. But then there is totally different kind of asking. That ask is like you didn't observe anything and then you straight go to ask. That is not right. Okay, I'm talking about that kind of don't ask. But when now I'm saying ask the hard question, it's like after you observe already and then you want to you really okay, not right now you saw some people having this kind of pain already. Then definitely you have to go and ask and then say, hey, uh how can I help you? How are you solving this today? How if there's a solution that can solve this problem, how much are you willing to pay? I mean, that is the question that I want you to ask. You definitely cannot ask this in the beginning, right? If you never actually observe all this kind of thing, right? Because what are you asking? You're asking what kind of problem? My head problem, my shoulder problem, my what kind of problem you're asking me? No. But after you observe, you realize that that person actually have a leg problem or a foot problem. So that's why you go and ask, hey, what if I have a product that can solve your problem? Are you actually willing to buy that? You see, that is the question. Asking the hard question, okay? Then at the end, finally, you are actually finding the gap. If they aren't already trying to solve it, they won't pay for your solution. So this is the next question after you asking the last question. Because some people, they are not willing to pay, or they just simply say it's not serious enough for them to fork out their money and pay for this. So sometimes you have to be careful also because you cannot stop at this stage say, okay, I asked the hard question already, then I straight go and build the product. No, cannot. You have to be careful with our what we call it sometimes we call it the human I mean is it called psychology or whatever the demand or the need. Some people they say I don't believe in this kind of thing. Some of them even have this kind of thing, they don't believe in this kind of thing. So sometimes they just say I'm still okay, never mind. It doesn't always like this. I mean like it's just occasionally or maybe just once in a while. Well, I like this only happened recently. Before this, I don't have this kind of problem. There are a lot of all these answer that you will hear. So when you hear this kind of answer, will you still consider to build a product for that? Then you never know already. You will like, Should I build it or not? I don't know, right? So be careful about that. This is one of the problem also. All right. Okay. So next. Okay. Am I too fast? I still want to ask. Sometimes, my English not that good. And then I keep talking, and then I'm not sure if people can really follow me, or maybe they have a question they want to ask before going next. So can I know if there's any question so far for this? I still cannot open the tools. Okay, right now I can already. Try to full screen. Okay.
There is a question, but
Yeah.
so Lawrence, I think you need to wrap up your explanation because our time is limited.
Oh, right. Okay, so I have to make it simple. All right. Okay. So if everybody okay, then I just go through again. Okay. 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 So just now I mentioned about how do you actually know if your product is needed or not, right? Okay. How about us? How we actually make sure our products can work? Because I keep talking a lot, but maybe you have a question. Then how about you? How do you actually know that your product can work or not? Okay. Our product, okay, before I go to this part, let me show you that what is our product actually. All right. Our product is actually called the Sprout Maker Box. I mean, if you can see this, okay, okay, there's a screen. Okay, never mind. So our product is trying to solve this problem actually. It's just solve the wiring problem because before that a lot of students actually they want to learn all this coding and electronics and robotics. All this cannot get away from having a lot of wiring. So the teachers and the student they come to us. They ask us if we can actually can develop something that can bypass or skip this step so that they don't need to repeat again to do the wiring so that they can eventually just straight go into the coding part. So that's why we develop our products. We call it the Sprout, and then it looks like this, right? Okay, if you understand already, let me go back to the slide. Okay, sorry. Okay. Then how do we actually know if our product is needed? So we have this actually the framework we call the Maker Nation because it's as fancy as the name goes. It's actually just a regional hub method. So we try our products with schools and teachers, and then we start from giving them the pain first by using the old way to do the projects, and then we introduce our product to them, but with the new way, and then we see if how they actually respond. We didn't ask them actually. We see how they respond. So when we see that they are enjoying using our products, then we know already that our products can work. Even the teachers come to us and say, "Hey, I really like your products." So that's how actually we develop our products. So that's how actually as simple as can be to know how your products works. You have to try with the user first. Maybe when one day you have a real product, the first thing is maybe you let them try first. Or you ask for any volunteer, or maybe you give a tester to ask them about the feedbacks of your product. Okay, that's how we do it. Okay, so I just skip about this part lah. So business development is the bridge of tomorrow. So yeah, basically how to do business. I'm going to this part right now. All right. So because time is not really that much, I try to just tell you lah. Okay, as simple as how to actually start to business your products, right? First is positioning. Positioning is you have to understand which position, or we call it where is the location, or where does your product sits in. Let's say your product must be serving some purpose. Maybe it is in education, or maybe it's in healthcare, or maybe it's in finance, or maybe it's in whatever. You have to understand where is your position first. You have to really, really understand where is your product. I mean, that's why the category, the business name comes out, because that is, we call it the market. Where is your customer? You have, if your product don't have a market segment or there's a no position for that, then that is a very dangerous thing. Okay, be careful about that. Because when you try to explain your product, you don't know how to explain your product, because when people ask what is your product and what is it, then you talk a lot of things, you do like blah 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 blah. But at the end, people still don't understand what is your product, because you are not talking in the language. We call it in the language. When you have a fintech product, then you will have a language that talks in finance. So you are trying to approach the person who is actually doing finance or in the finance business. Then when you're using that kind of language to tell them that your product is solving what kind of problem, then eventually they will understand already. Okay, your product is very good. Maybe a new kind of calculator, whatever. I'm not sure about that. But you have to talk in the language. So we call it the position. Where is your position actually? Okay. So you are not just selling another product, but you also are selling a future-proof literacy product, which means your product actually can help somebody. Your product can help them, empower them, and make their lives better. So this is, we call it the positioning. I can talk a lot of things about this, but I have to skip. Okay. So basically, it's like it means that. Okay. Second thing is the channels. Like just now I mentioned already, whether your product is in finance, healthcare, whatever, and then when you know where is it positioned already, then there's a channel already. Because channel is like how many layers or how many levels of the users or your customer have. Maybe you are dealing with the, let's say you are dealing with the banks, or maybe you are dealing with the corporates, because when the corporate have thousand or million users, and then you are creating a solution to solve a problem inside the system, it eventually your solution will benefit all the users under a component. Then we call it the channel. So I mean, as easy as to say is the word, I think you heard it before, B2B, B2C, B2G, yeah, whatever, B2B, whatever, the B2B2B or B2B2C, whatever. I think that's the word lah, right? So you have to understand who are you targeting. You are targeting your direct to customer, or you are targeting a business, or you're targeting to corporate, or you're targeting to even, government, maybe government level. You have to understand where is your solution, what is the channel that your product goes. All right. This we call a channel. Third is the partnership. Okay. Now that if you already have the channel, you know that either maybe you're selling directly to customer, or maybe you're selling to business, whatever, then you will form a partnership. Let's say you're directly dealing with business. Then you probably better form a partnership with your business, because why? Sometimes as much as you want to do, you are not really growing that fast, because maybe you have I mean, you are still small company, or maybe you are still growing. So sometimes there's a certain place that there are some people wants to use your product. Let's say I mean, a location. Let's say maybe another country. Another country, there's a customer wants to use your product. But how do you actually sell there? If you want to, if you think that, oh, I just go there and open a business, open a company, I mean, open an office like that, then I can sell. No, you cannot. Remember, before this, I said don't become a do-it-all person. Okay, try not to become like that, because eventually you cannot do everything by your own. You need friends. We call it actually friends. Partnership is just a word, but actually we call it friends. Friends in business. You need a partnership that people are actually there. They have an established business already. Yeah, so that you partner with them, you giving them some profit. We call it the reseller profit or whatever, so that they can actually help you to sell your products. So you have to make friends in business and become your partners. All right. And the fourth is okay. Sometimes when you have a product, maybe you haven't think about the part where how your product actually makes money. Even myself, I made this mistake before. I mean, not consider like a mistake lah. Consider like I'm quite naive that time. I thought that my product just sell lor, sell like this lor, that's it lor. Right. But no. Actually, sometimes your product have a very good potential that you didn't realize. Let's say your product maybe but not just selling one time only. Maybe when you build a software or build a we call it like a platform, whatever you call it, like some people call it cloud, whatever, right? Then your product suddenly can connect to the cloud or can connect to a platform, whatever, right? That can, sometimes can interact with other products, making it more convenient, more connected, or maybe you, that you can do more with your products. I mean, the customer can do more with your products. Then suddenly you realize that, hey, I can actually have a subscription model. I can make money from subscription. Okay, then that maybe is your second income already. Then suddenly you realize that your products, people try to use it in other ways, or maybe they want to have a customized version of your product. Then that would be your third income already, because you can actually try to, maybe they will order from you, or maybe they will try to hire you. We call it what, commission based. I'm not sure about that lah. Okay, they will pay certain money to have their own version so that it works well with for either maybe for their business or maybe for their own use. Yeah, it can be anything. So that would be your third revenue already. And how about the fourth, the fifth, and sixth? There are a lot of things that you actually can think of. Maybe some people actually say, "Hey, do you have a tutorial, or maybe you have a trainer that can train me how to use your product? Maybe your product is not a really easy product. Let's say it's a software, or maybe it's AI tools, whatever. So definitely people need somebody to train them, or they need some of that. Then suddenly you can make money by giving training, or by selling costs also. So you have to think about that. Maybe your product just one, but then you can make a lot of money from different ways. So understanding the difference between a one-time sales and a system. So everything I'm telling you is actually you have to think about a system for your product. Who knows that your product actually can scale, right? Think about that. Okay, so this is the four level of business development. Okay, so just now I mentioned about the four levels, the what, and then how about we're talking about how 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 big or how far can your product goes? What is the direction? What are you aiming for? I mean, is your product actually just a short-term product? Maybe just maybe this year only my product can work. Maybe next year nobody wants my product anymore. So how do you make sure that your product can go a long way? By actually make it to become an
Lawrence,
ecosystem. All right.
I'm sorry to
Hello.
interrupt. There is a box covered your screen. I think you need to close the rectangle one.
Okay, hold on. Rectangle
There
one.
is a square one covering the
You
screen.
mean stop sharing? You mean
It's still sharing, but the box is still there.
the box? What box? Is there a box?
It covers the half of your presentation.
Oh, from just now until now. I mean, it's been quite a while. You mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I
There's
was.
like one square rectangle one that is covering your screen.
How about now?
Now it's moving to the right.
Okay. I mean, I try to make it
Yeah, this one is
smaller.
better.
Can you see? Can you see?
Yes, we can. And one more. Could you please wrap up your explanation so that we can finish it as soon as possible?
All right. Okay. I mean, yeah, I can talk a very long time over this. Okay. Okay. So, okay. I mean, is it okay right now?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Let me continue. So just now I mentioned about how far can your product go. Okay. This is one of the way that you can make your product go for a long way is try to make your product become an ecosystem. Okay. Some people will ask me, what do you mean ecosystem? Okay, as simple as I'm using my own way to explain what is an ecosystem. An ecosystem is as simply as the things that you get so used to it already that you like one day when you don't have when you don't have it anymore, then you feel very inconvenient or like it change your life or it change your habit. Yeah, we call it that as simple as that way. The ecosystem, but it can be very complicated also. I mean, ecosystem can be very big. But I start from a very simple way is some things that change people's life that one day they cannot live without your product. Try to make it an ecosystem. Okay, let's say today, either iPhone or any Android phone, can we live without it? I mean, can we live without it actually? Can you live without Android or can you live without iPhone, whatever system that they build? Can you live without it? I don't think so, right? Everybody cannot live without our phone already because it's so convenient. It changed our life. We can check email, all this, blah, blah, blah. So that is ecosystem already. But maybe you will ask, I still don't really understand what do you mean ecosystem. Okay, just now I mentioned iPhone and I mentioned about Android. So as an Android user, what if I ask you to change to iPhone? Will you get used to it suddenly? And then how about iPhone user? Suddenly I ask you to change to Android. Will you get used to it suddenly? I think both cannot, right? Cannot say I cannot do it. Or maybe some of you are like having two phones now. Okay, that one I don't want to discuss about it. Okay, you are genius already, lah, genius level. Okay, but then that is basically what is ecosystem means, lah. We are so get used to auto. I mean the auto and the manual driving already. Then we cannot use to like the truck driving using this direction, that one. Okay, there are a lot of examples about ecosystem. So basically, try to make your products become like an ecosystem. So grow your product in that direction so that one day your product, people cannot live without it anymore. Okay. So integrating business and community. When you have a direction, then you will aim for certain community already. Just now when I mentioned iPhone and Android, that is what we call the community. There are Android community, there are iPhone community. You aim for the certain community. Then you connect your business with them. So as simple as that. And then the second part is trying to go with social and environmental also, because right now these two is very important for us already. So the social and environmental. If your product can help in this social or environmental, then it will become eventually essential tools or essential products for the people, so that they will keep buying and keep using your products. Try to build your products in that direction. When you build your products in that direction, I will say you will have a very high chance that you will get maybe funding or maybe win awards or whatever, because people, investor or anybody can see that your product have a future. Okay? And then next, what else? All right, scaling. Okay. Do we still have time? Okay, scaling is basically very similar, like just now what I mentioned to you. Is just like sometimes when you build a product, you didn't really consider about how to scale actually. But the keyword is system. Build it like a system. So when you build something like a system, eventually your products will not just serve one purpose. It can serve many useful purpose. I mean, try to make it like a system now. Okay, sorry, because time is not enough. I have to make it fast. Okay, constraint-based growth. Okay, just the keyword is the emerging market. Okay, So the emerging market is sometimes an advantage. And some of the products that you build is actually not software, maybe it's a hardware. So transitioning from hardware to ecosystem, which is similar like just now what I mentioned, the ecosystem. Okay. The keyword is still make it like they have a software like it connects to a cloud or maybe it connects to a platform and then make it more useful lah. Even you just a hardware only. So maybe one day you say that my vacuum cleaner can suddenly connect to the internet. Then you say why? Then you have to think about that lah. Why I need to connect my vacuum cleaner to the internet? You think about that, all right? So that's how you're transitioning from hardware to ecosystem. All right, and then the impact economy, yeah, very same like just now that I mentioned to you, the ESG. So just try make your products like helping the environmental, social, and governance principle. Don't just create products that like not really helping people, not really helping this world, not helping environmental, social, and governments. Try to make some very useful products lah, so that you can help environmental. I mean, when I mention about this, like try to avoid plastic if possible, or if electronic, try to avoid lead if possible. And yeah, there's a lot of things. And the design, maybe in social terms, we mean like try to design your products very human friendly sometimes. Don't try to create the anti-human products, we call it. Yeah, I myself really hate the products that is very anti-human one. I tell you, I really hate it. So when I saw some product like this, I cannot even find the screw, I cannot open it, totally throw it away. I said rubbish, because this is anti-human product. So we call it the social part, okay? And the governance part, of course, you try to understand what is the governance part, okay? That one I won't talk much because it's really complicated things, okay? And digital literate innovators. So sometimes when you create a product, you are not just trying to make money, you are actually helping people to become digital literate. Maybe your products is actually helping them to grow, helping them to learn something new, to adopt the new world. I mean, because right now even AI, everything in AI already. So hopefully that you create something that can help people in digital literate. All right. So become the digital literate innovators. All right. So going to come up with a conclusion is that three golden rules. Okay, so much that I talk about, but only three golden rules. Make sure that your product is having traction, which means launch before you are ready. What I mean is that, okay, right now maybe you want to join a competition, you want to aim for an award, but if only now you create a product for this purpose, I'm telling you that uh, I'm not saying that it's too late or whatever, but maybe you can become better by now, before you joining the competition, start selling your product. Because eventually you will see if your product is okay or not. Is there somebody who wants your product? Okay, so I call it launch before you are ready to gain traction. So that when you pitch or when you join a competition, you can proudly say, I have customer already with my product. I have 1,000 customer, or I have 1,000 users, or I have 100 customer already that is using my product. You can proudly try to pitch in that way, okay? A messy prototype with paying customer is better than a perfect one without a customer. Okay? So, customers, respect the market, or your idea remains a hobby. Okay? Same, no customer, no business. Okay? So, always listen to your customer. Okay? And then third is impact. Like just now I mentioned, try to create something that can change the world, change the life, and change the environment, or change everything that makes the world become better. Okay? Three golden rules. That's it. Okay. So anything else, you can contact me. My contact is here, my phone number, my email, and the website. So I hope that my sharing is can be helpful to you. And thank you for having me right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence. What an insightful session that you have already explained. We have. Now it's actually Q&A time, but knowing time limitation, we can only take one question, and we would like to prioritize for those who wants to raise their hands and also come up to a question for to ask directly. Is there any question? Would like to raise your hand? Okay, if there is not, there is actually one interesting question in chat box, Mr. Lawrence.
Okay.
Someone is asking, leave a comment, leave a question. He or she asking about hobbies, since you mentioned about hobbies and business before.
Okay.
The question is, when can a hobby be turned into a business? That's the question.
Okay, maybe I sound pessimistic about the hobby, but actually what I mean is that I have to see, I mean, you have to know what kind of hobbies actually. They are actually, we call it a very expensive hobby also. Like the hobbies that is like PC buildings or maybe cars, to modify the cars. Let's say if you create something that turns something into a very powerful other things, then probably even that is a hobby product, but maybe it can make money, who knows. But then what I mean hobby is that maybe I should use the word not really serious project. I mean, not really serious product. Because some of the people, they create for fun. They create something for fun, then they say, hey, I believe people will buy this because I like it. And then some of my friends like it. Then I probably think people will like it. But eventually not as good as they think. Yeah. So yeah, I'm talking about that kind of hobby. But if you are a serious hobby that you are so sure that it can make money, because the most important part is the customer segment. Just now I mentioned about that part, right? You have to understand the positioning. If you even you have a hobby product, but if your position is good, then the four layers. I mean the four. Remember the four one, and then you have the position, you have the channels, and then you have the what, and then okay, even just a hobby product, go for it. That's my answer. Is it okay? I mean, did I answer your question, sir? I mean, who is the one asking? Okay.
Yeah, I hope the answer were helpful and gave some clarity for him or her. So, due to our limitation time, I think we can move on to the next session. Next slide. Okay, now it's time for us to take a selfie, what they call it as VV time. Anyone, please turn on your cameras so that we can see your face clearly. We are about heading to end session, but before that, we are taking some picture first. Everyone is ready. Turn on your camera, please. First slide in 3, 2, 1. Okay, move on to the next one. Next slide. In 3, 2, 1. And I think the last slide. Ready? We will take a screenshot in 3, 2, 1. Okay, great. Perfect. More. Okay, next, before we end our session, we would like to briefly introduce you to something new that is going to be happening in 2026 this year at ICIA. As shown on your screen, everyone, we would like to briefly introduce you to ICIA application, which will be used throughout ICIA 2026. later on April. This ICIA will be a platform for you to access important information related to program updates, submission, or etc. And we encourage you to make sure stay connected to our official channels, which is this application. You can already download it, you can access it, and try to open the link. And then next is about timeline. This is for innovation challenge. One thing that we need to clarify to you is uh, the registration. The registration for innovation challenge. It starts from February 2nd, 2026, and the final judging session will be held on April 11, 2026. Next, I guess it's about Innovation Award. And notes that the online session is only for participants. The rest, if you want to look up the national selection partner or any information regarding ICIA, you can check our Instagram, Facebook, get it, and know news of ICIA itself. Okay, and with that, we have come to the end of today's webinar session. Once again, thank you to our speaker, Mr. Lawrence Chau. Thank you very much for the insightful session. And thank you to all participants who joining us today. Just to remind you that after this, we are having creative talk. You can check it out in our Instagram live. It's talking about ICIA. We are talking about how to make a good solution. It's really insightful. We recommend that you also join the session. And yeah, see you in our next ICIA session and have a wonderful day. Thank you very much. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence.
Thank you. Thank you.